I'm one of those guys that spends most of my time with policy elites and business leaders, the shakers and movers, and that's usually overwhelmingly men. I had the most wonderful experience recently at the Arab International Women's Forum, where I was one of about 15 men out of 350 participants. It's almost all women, who were talking about practical achievements that women were making in terms of economic and social development, and in how societies are being transformed. And it was a sobering and exciting experience for me, because I saw something which was right in front of me all along, which I never fully understood. To me, when you talk about, as to many men, women's issues are issues that are heavily discussed by women. The World Bank says that in the next 5 to 10 years, that the largest single engine of growth in the world will be the productivity coming from women who enter into the workforce. This issue is really came home to me. That's, by the way, more than India or China. The single biggest driver will be the role of women in this next decade. And what really was driven home to me was when I saw what's happening. We all know about microfinance and the Grameen Bank and the excitement of microfinance. But what I learned here was something much bigger that's going on, which I didn't know. And that was the ability to take microfinance as a tool, not just for economic development, but also for social transformation, for dealing with radicalization and extremism. And a wonderful example was a UNDP, UN Development Project with the Syrian government, to go into the most remote traditional areas of the society, and to go to women and to say, would you like to have your own business? Would you like to create it? What would it be? But part of the deal for getting the finances and technical training and help is that you have to also link this to social. And there was a wonderful moment, and I wanted to share it with you, when an elderly woman in the film relates the excitement of this experience for her. And she said, I have a situation where my children don't respect me. Let me tell you, as everyone in the room who's a parent or a child, it had to hit us really hard between the nose, right between the eyes and the nose, was the fact that her children don't respect her. And she went on to say, because she didn't read, because she couldn't help them with homework, that she couldn't tell them about things about the world, so they just dismissed her. She was the one that cleaned and cooked and provided for their day-to-day needs, but she was not respected. And she said how much that bothered her. And in this whole lesson, she part of the deal was that she would learn how to read in order to get this microfinance. So she gave her husband a choice, and because he didn't want her to learn to read, as she explains in the film. And she said to him, okay, then I won't take this opportunity and make money for the family if you don't want me to learn how to read. He reluctantly agreed to let her read. Her business went on to be a very successful small business. But what's really was exciting at the end was, she said, the greatest satisfaction for her is she now knows that her grandchildren are going to respect her. That was such a fabulous moment to watch, and it encapsulates so much the power of what is not what could happen, but what is happening right now. And I think people in the policy community, people that like myself, who work at this level of trying to make change happen in the world, we have to understand there's a big thing already happening which we have not focused on. And I know that the EastWest Institute now will be focused on how we can be helpful and build this dimension in, and we would challenge others to do it as well. An aha moment? Yeah, it was. I'm sure my daughter will give me a hard time when she sees this and says, Dad, you should have known that decades ago. But waking up is, getting a sobering wake-up call is something very exciting, and I wanted to share that with you.